Hello! Today we will tell you about the most unusual places on our planet. Looking at them, it's hard to believe that they really are in our world. Let's get started. Pamukkale, Turkey. Pamukkale is consistently present in numerous ratings of the most beautiful places on Earth, and it is absolutely deserved. This is a series of thermal springs, whimsically carved steps in a snow-white limestone slope. Today, not only travelers who want to see the miracle of nature come here, but also those whose goal is to improve their health, and they are happy to dive into shallow travertines. There is also a deeper font on the territory of the complex. Cleopatra's Pool. According to legend, Cleopatra herself came here to relax and rejuvenate. The water in Cleopatra's Pool is carbonated and comes from thermal springs, which makes it feel like you are bathing in a huge tub of champagne. In addition to pleasant sensations, bathing will also give you benefits. The water is saturated with radon, minerals, and has healing properties. The attraction is located at a distance from tourist centers, therefore, go in here from the nearest resort town. You need to be ready for a long trip. By the way, the fragile walls of limestone travertines are sensitive to damage, and it is forbidden to walk on many of them. In order to walk through the rest, you will have to take off your shoes. The observance of this rule is closely monitored by security. Waitomo Caves, New Zealand. Waitomo Caves in the Waikato region of New Zealand are quite interesting in themselves. Here you can observe intricate limestone growths and bizarre passages created many centuries ago. But what makes them truly unique and worth seeing are the inhabitants of the Firefly Cave. These are thousands of mosquitoes which, accumulating on its arches, create the effect of a starry sky. Lake Retba, Senegal. Going to Senegal. It is worth understanding that there are so many colorful sights there that it is unlikely to be possible to visit everything at once. But the main attraction of Senegal is the mysterious pink Lake Retba, one of the most beautiful places on Earth. It looks exactly like a picture from a children's book. Snow-white shores and pink water. The oldest cyanobacteria living in the salt lake are responsible for such an unusual color. Getting there is quite simple. The lake is located just 30 kilometers from the local capital, Dakar. Locals have long realized that the place is in great demand among tourists and willingly offer a transfer to it. Dragon trees on Socotra Island, Yemen. If you are an eternal adventurer and a real Indiana Jones at heart, you are on your way to one of the most unusual places in Yemen, Soctor Island. The island is notable for the trees growing here, which emit bright red juice. After making an incision in the bark, you can see how the dragon tree begins to bleed. Previously, there were quite a lot of such trees, sometimes thousands of years old, on the Canary Islands. But due to the active collection of valuable red resin, their number has significantly decreased. You can still see a small grove in Yemen. Shandong Cave, Vietnam. Located in the Vietnamese province of Quang Binh, the Shandong Cave is considered the largest in the world. To see the cave, go to Phong Nha Kebang National Park. Here you can see passages up to 200 meters high and up to 150 meters wide. In addition, travelers are delighted with the underground river, as well as plants under the holes in the arches of the cave, because of which sunlight makes its way inside. Uyuni Saltmarsh, Bolivia. Listing the most unusual places in the world, it is impossible not to remember about Salar de Uyuni, the natural pearl of Bolivia. Uyuni is a salt marsh, that is, a dried-up salt lake. It becomes a real miracle of nature during the rainy season, being covered with a thin layer of water. The salty surface turns into the largest natural mirror in the world on a good day. This mirror reflects the clear Bolivian sky, and the place becomes even more fabulous. Locals claim that the best time to visit the salt marsh is February. But in autumn and spring this unique place is also very beautiful. Luminous water in the Maldives. The most amazing places in the world can be found in popular holiday destinations. The main thing is to know where and when to look. Maldives is a heavenly place, but you may not know about one of its facets yet. In the Maldives, a unique starry sky appears right in the ocean. This is due to the luminescent plankton inhabiting the waters off the island of Vadhu, an incredible place. Usually it begins to glow in stressful situations of its planktonic life, for example, during the surf or at night. But keep in mind that it is better to refrain from bathing at this time, because phytoplankton can secrete toxic substances. Colorful dunes in Lassen Park, USA, and this multicolored geological formation has long ago earned the fame of one of the most beautiful places in the world. The dunes are located near the cone of an ancient dormant volcano in the Lassen National Park. Their unusual coloring appeared due to the oxidation of ash deposited directly on the lava flows during the eruption. Fly Geyser, USA. The USA is very rich in its natural resources, and therefore the most unusual places in the world are concentrated here in huge numbers. The American artificial Fly Geyser would be more correct to call a permanent thermal spring, because one of the signs of a geyser is impermanence. Once a well was drilled at this place for a well. After it ceased to function, natural reactions began underground, which led to the formation of this miracle. Giants Road, Ireland. This Irish landmark also appeared due to volcanic interference. Thanks to an eruption that occurred many centuries ago, 40,000 basalt columns appeared here, going into the sea, like steps for a real giant. In addition to actually walking along the columns, it will also be interesting to climb up and view the picturesque panorama. In addition, there is an opportunity to rent or arrive on an already rented bike and ride along a well-equipped route around the neighborhood. Vinicunca. Vinicunca, a mountain in Peru at an altitude of 5,200 meters above sea level, was included in the Guardian's list of the most beautiful mountains in the world. The unusual mountain is made by its coloring. The mountain range is covered with lines of pastel blue, intense red, green, pink, and yellow colors. The unique color scheme is due to the mineral composition. Previously, these beauties were hidden by ice caps, but due to climate change, they melted about 10,000 years ago. Dry Valley in Antarctica. This desert is unique in that it is the driest place on Earth. No precipitation has fallen here for several million years. This place is closest to Mars in its climate, so it is of particular interest to NASA. Rovers are being tested here. Large-scale research is being conducted in all directions. This is the only part of Antarctica not covered with ice. In the valleys there is a frozen lake with extremely salty water. Mysterious bacteria and organisms were discovered under the ice. This finding served as confirmation of the theory that life exists on Mars. Rio Tinto Quarry in Andalusia, Spain. Rio Tinto's huge quarries create an unreal, moon-like landscape. The quarries are named after the river of the same name that flows here and washes out minerals from huge craters. Mining has been carried out here for many centuries, so the river has turned into a bright red-orange color. Its acidity and saturation with metals is simply off the scale. Currently, mining in this region has been stopped, and Rio Tinto attracts crowds of tourists and photographers to Andalusia. MUSA Underwater Museum, Cancun, Mexico. MUSA is a unique underwater museum of modern sculpture in Mexico. There are more than 400 sculptures of Briton Jason Taylor on display or drowned, some of which are already overgrown with corals. The exhibits can be viewed up close diving underwater, or from afar, from a pleasure boat with a transparent bottom. MUSA was opened in 2010 and is considered the world's largest underwater sculpture museum, perhaps due to the lack of competitors. Red Beach, Panjin, China. One of the most unusual places in China, in a swampy coastal area. A special kind of weed is perfectly propagated, which grows rapidly in summer and begins to wither in autumn. At this time, everything turns into a scarlet carpet with an area of thousands of hectares. An unforgettable sight. Just to come and walk along the coast here will not work. The entire beach is declared a nature reserve. Tourists are allowed to stay only on a small section of the Red Beach, where bridges have been built specially for them, extending hundreds of meters into the sea. They are unusual in their landscapes. After seeing these photos, you might think that these places are on some other planets, in other galaxies, but not on Earth. The most amazing thing is that the initial impression is wrong. Our planet is able to surprise us, constantly presenting new surprises and riddles. Go to the channel and watch more videos. Subscribe to learn more with us.